First off, I'm really honored and grateful to Hambridge and the National Endowment for the Arts because that made being here today possible, and also the month-long residency that I've been able to enjoy in connection with this exhibition with Rachel. When I got here, it was really interesting. They had found these old dress forms, which to me feel very sculptural. So these are the dress forms that Mary had in their shop in New York. They remind me very much of Frank Lloyd Wright at the time, this kind of very utilitarian way of putting things together. So I thought that was just amazing that we got to show the clothes on the same forms that Mary was showing her clothes. And I wanted to turn some of the clothes inside out because really the true beauty is the work that our artisans do. It's not necessarily me. We have 40 people who work in our studio, and we have 40 other artisans who work in the field, so we're about 80 people all together. So I stand here today really just as their representative, not as, this work is a huge collaboration. So that brings me to the collaboration with Rachel. We knew one another from Penland, and it was so nice to come face to face again at Hambridge. And Rachel's work is so beautiful and thoughtful. I hope you see, or I hope in our work you see the same thoughtfulness that she has in her work. And it was just so lovely to see everything with intention out in the environment. And of course we hope that our clothes live in an environment as well. So we came up with this idea of adding this extra element. So there are some pieces of scraps right here, and as you walk to Rachel's work, you'll see that some folks have written intentions or prayers on these little strips, kind of as flags, and I ask you all, there's a table here and some markers, if you would write a strip, and as you walk to Rachel's work, Ren Allen is going to lead a silent walk today. That would be a great time to take a flag or 2 or 5 or as many as intentions you'd like to set for yourself or the world that we're living in today.
I wanted to invite you all to join in a tradition that we all do here as residents around the dinner table, if you'd be willing. And this is a tradition that comes from Mary, where before dinner we all just stand around the table and hold hands and just take a moment to be present in whatever way that means for us. It's always in a moment of deep gratitude for me, for Mary, for the place, for the staff who's here, for the other artists. And so if you'd be willing to share in that moment, so if we could just grab a hand, if we don't make a full loop around, just at least grab one hand of someone here, and we'll just for a moment, and just hold hands, close eyes, and when you feel complete and come up, you just squeeze the hands next to you. I came here for the first time just over 2 years ago, and at that time I was working towards the piece that you will see that away, which is an assemblage of these porcelain sticks. And about a week before I arrived, I found out that I was pregnant with my son, my first child, and so there's something really special about this place to me and my child, because it was really the beginning of our relationship. And I think that in a deep way, my work is about relationship. It's about relationship with place in a lot of ways. A lot of the seeds of my inspiration are sort of obsession, about a curiosity, wanting to understand more. And my process is mold making, so taking either sculpted or found objects, making a mold of the object, and then casting it into porcelain. So in some ways, I think of Midas, who could anything he touched would turn to gold. So I kind of think I'm like the Midas of porcelain, who could just sort of turn anything into porcelain. And the ruins, that was a place structure that had pieces falling of it. And since that time, I discovered that it had never fully been a structure. It had only ever done that foundation. And I've heard like different sort of tales of what it was that created that swimming pool. Ask some local folks what they know about it, but it never was constructed. So there's 2 elements